All right. So I hope everybody enjoyed our lunch with Dr. Pete Warden. Next up, the Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of the Economy of Luxembourg, Etienne Schneider, is going to give a very exciting announcement about the Luxembourg Space Initiative.
Okay, thank you so much. Distinguished guests, dear friends, first of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to this important event. Luxembourg launched the spaceresource.lu initiative in February 2016 with the aim to promote the peaceful exploration and sustainable utilization of space resources. But why is tiny Luxembourg, with its 999 square miles, keen on exploiting space resources? This is the most frequently asked question to me. Well, most people ignore that mining resources in space is not Luxembourg's first involvement in space. We started in the mid-80s with the creation of the satellite operator SES, which is nowadays the biggest commercial satellite operator in the world. In just 3 decades, the Luxembourg space sector has grown from nothing into probably the most dynamic one in the European Union. Ladies and gentlemen, I conducted last April an economic mission here to the United States West Coast. The mission was headed by Luxembourg's Crown Prince and focused exclusively on promoting Luxembourg's complete regulatory and expertise ecosystem for the exploration and utilization of space resources. In Seattle and in the Silicon Valley, our delegates met a lot of entrepreneurs, investors, NASA officials, and many promising startups of the new space sector. I was delighted of the keen interest they all showed in our initiative. And since my last visit here, many things happened, though, as the Luxembourg government is forging ahead. A few days ago, the Grand Duchy signed with the European Space Agency, ESA, a joint statement on future activities concerning missions to the asteroids, related technologies, and space resource exploration and utilization. This enhanced cooperation with ESA is another significant milestone for our initiative. Both Luxembourg and the European Space Agency agree on the opportunity to further studying technical and scientific aspects of space resources exploration and utilization activities. This collaboration is the logical continuation of our general effort for promoting international cooperation in order to progress on a future governance scheme and a global regulatory framework. In concrete terms, in the frame of Luxembourg's collaboration with ESA, we will undertake an analysis with the aim of progressing in the feasibility assessment and technical maturity of asteroids exploration and utilization. This cooperation will support the process that Luxembourg is putting in place following our draft law on the exploration and use of space resources. At political level, this draft law is enjoying large cross-party support in Luxembourg, and it will be approved by the National Parliament in 2 weeks' time. Luxembourg's regulatory framework defines an authorization and supervision procedure for any given commercial space exploration mission. Furthermore, the regulatory regime we put in place also confers ownership of resources they extract in space to companies settled down in Luxembourg. Luxembourg is the first European country to offer such a legal framework that secures property rights for space resources. Of course, we have also initiated talks with other countries to cooperate on the legal and regulatory matters, as well as in research and development. For example, we have signed an MOU with Portugal, whose minister is here today. More cooperations with other space nations will be signed very soon. Other European institutions, like the European Investment Bank, are also joining forces with Luxembourg in support of our visionary policy to accelerate the development of new space technologies. To further enhance investment in strategic projects in the EU, the European Investment Bank and Luxembourg are cooperating to provide guidance and advice on financial instruments for private initiatives within the spaceresources.lu initiative. The European Commission offered Luxembourg the lead in an important European project in the field of high-performance computing and big data-enabled applications. The aim of this project is not only to ensure the availability of exascale supercomputing facilities in Europe, but also to develop and install a sustainable economic environment around these digital capacities. In the frame of this strategic project, we will deploy in Luxembourg a big data testbed in the area of smart space. It was an imperative condition for us to have a world-leading satellite operator such as SES as a partner directly involved in that project. Luxembourg offers the right environment for this kind of projects. We have state-of-the-art digital infrastructures, private and public actors with great entrepreneurial courage, access to research and development funding programs on a national and European level, and last but not least, a strong political motivation to support new innovative ideas. Distinguished guests, Luxembourg is ready and eager to support and nurture the growing number of commercial space initiatives. There are many suppliers and customers and the intrepid explorers that intend to make space mining a reality. Luxembourg sealed partnerships with US companies with visionary ambitions, namely Deep Space Industries or Planetary Resources, as well as with iSpace, a Tokyo-based lunar robotic exploration company that is one of the finalists of the Google Lunar X Prize. The German space company OHB, one of the top 3 prime contractors in Europe, recently opened a second subsidiary in the Grand Duchy called Blue Horizon, focusing on using space resources for supporting life in space. All in all, since the launch of our initiative a year ago, we have been contacted by more than 60 companies, research institutes, and NGOs from all over the world. They all want to partner with us, and many want to settle down in Luxembourg. The interest is just tremendous. Next month, we will announce more companies that have selected Luxembourg to establish their European headquarters. As every company registered in Luxembourg, they all have access to ESA programs and ESA funds. A range of programs have also been developed by the Grand Duchy to foster closer collaboration among national academic researchers and commercial companies. Luxembourg's financial commitment of over $220 million is steering early-stage funding to promising innovations. We will set up a space agency that will fully take into account the needs of new space companies. Within this agency, we create a dedicated space fund in order to complement the existing funding measures based mainly on a grant approach. We are ready to invest in interesting space startups. The agency will be a public-private partnership between the government and the private fund industry and venture capitalists. They will decide which companies we want to invest in. Right now, we are negotiating with venture capitalists that want to launch space technology investment funds in Luxembourg. Some are targeting 1.3 billion euros. They see the spaceresource.lu initiative as a great investment opportunity, and they trust the Luxembourg government to make it happen. Dear new space community, with its record as business-friendly, innovation-nurturing environment, Luxembourg is committed to ensuring that the economies of space resources work for everyone. It might seem at first glance a strange development for my country, but in many ways it is a logical progression. In relation to its size and population, Luxembourg has one of the world's most advanced economies. In 1985, a public-private partnership effort launched Société Européenne des Satellites, today known as Global Satellite Operator SES, based in Luxembourg. At the beginning of the 80s, the Grand Duchy was indeed quick to recognize and seize the opportunities of satellite technologies as a means to reach people all over the globe. To start SES, the government of Luxembourg guaranteed the first launch since at that time no insurance was willing to do so. This guarantee represented 5% of the yearly government budget, so it was indeed a huge risk, but that paid out quite nicely. SES' rise over 3 decades to the global leader it is today is a fascinating success story, inherently linked to the development of my country. SES has now more than 60 satellites in space, so that one can say that Luxembourg nowadays takes more space in space than on Earth. Alongside SES, Luxembourg boosts the very dynamic space sector, with companies active all along the value chain. Overall, the space sector amounts to close to 2% of the annual GDP of my country, clearly showing its importance. Ladies and gentlemen, during our official tour of Silicon Valley last April, we have announced the selection of Luxembourg as the official headquarters for the Asteroid Day organization. The UN-sanctioned event will take place next Friday in Luxembourg and will be broadcast live across 191 countries. During this summer, a PhD from the Luxembourg University will join the NASA Frontier Development Lab hosted by the SETI Institute. By teaming up with SETI and the FTL Space Resources Lunar Water Research Project, Luxembourg is confirming its strong support for advanced research activities accelerating exploration of outer space. Collaboration of researchers from the University of Luxembourg and the FDL Lunar Water Team provides promising opportunities for the Space Resource.lu initiative. ESA just launched Europe's first innovation competition on space exploration, the Space Exploration Masters. Luxembourg and its Space Resource.lu initiative feature a special prize in this competition, focused on ideas targeting the utilization of space resources. This international competition aims to identify the best technology transfer business successes, as well as to empower and foster business innovation around space exploration activities in low Earth orbit. The challenge addresses companies, universities, scientific institutions, startups, and everyone willing to set up a sustainable business and to create economic substance by establishing and registering a company in Luxembourg. The call for submissions has started a few days ago. It covers the full value chain of space resources, of prospection, extraction, processing, utilization, and distribution. The winners will be supported by more than $450,000 under the Luxembourg National Space Program. The winners will be announced at the NewSpace Europe conference hosted by Luxembourg on November 16 and 17. Hosted in partnership between Luxembourg and the Space Frontier Foundation, this event will be the first new space industry conference in Europe. It will highlight the exponential growth of the space ecosystem across the world. I would like to ask you to note this event in your diary. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope to see you in November in Luxembourg. That should be considered in the near future as the new space gateway to Europe when it comes to the exploration and use of resources in space. As I often say, Luxembourgish will sooner or later be the official language in space, so start taking Luxembourgish lessons. Thank you for your attention.